Just wanted to jump on real quick and debunk a few myths about cheating and betrayal. It's a very hot day. I just got done with my post-lunch walk, so I figured I'd give a nice little quick video while I'm outside. Anyways, a couple of myths I wanted to debunk is that, number one, most people who cheat are actually out seeking an affair, and that's just not the case. I mean, I always tell my clients, affairs are like spider webs. Before you know it, you're entangled up into this web and you don't know how to get out. Now, are there repeated offenders? Of course, but usually it's just one and done. You learn a lesson, you learn a lot, and it's one and done. Two, most people drift from their spouse or want somebody, that's younger. And that's not true either. Now, again, are there exceptions to the case where, CEOs or people in power or whatever look for somebody that's maybe, younger or quote, more attractive. But usually the spouse of the person who stepped out is no younger, no more fit, no more richer, no more attractive than their own spouse, what have you. Another myth I hear all the time online or even with my clients that tell me, oh, I saw this even on TikTok, which is where you're watching me probably. Affairs almost always end a marriage, and that's absolutely not true. Far more than 50% of all betrayals from affair are actually worked on, survived, and the relationship is better afterwards. Another one I love, is once a cheater, always a cheater. That's not the case at all. Now, do I say a lot of times to my clients, once a cheater, always vulnerable? Possibly, but I don't even think that. I think that only describes maybe an addict. Once an addict, always vulnerable. Cheating and betraying, as far as infidelity or emotionally or sexually, it's somebody using the wrong tool for the wrong thing. It's once they learn the correct tool to apply to the correct project, cheating's if it's a case like that and somebody's not an addict or a serial cheater, no, not once a cheater, always a cheater. Absolutely not. Another thing that I hear a lot is affairs happen because something's wrong in marriages. Well, you know what? Newsflash, there's something wrong in every marriage. A marriage, people don't go somewhere because there's something wrong in a marriage. Usually it's a perfect storm. There's something wrong internally, then matched with trauma, then matched with unmet needs, maybe in a relationship or a marriage, then met with a life crisis situation. I mean, so just to say affairs happen because something's wrong in a marriage deduces it to one element when there's oftentimes dozens of elements that go into the ingredients for an affair, for the outcome of an affair. Another one I hear all the time is affairs are all about sex, and boy, is this another lie. In reality, people basically want a confidant. They want a confidant. They want to have an emotional connection with someone, and unfortunately they go outside their relationship to do that. Now, does it oftentimes lead into sex? Yeah, it does. Not all the time, but certainly affairs are not all about sex. Again, you might be an addict, but that's not the intent. Also, I hear a lot of time, if there's no sex in the relationship, if there's no sex in the affair, there's no cheating. I hear this a lot when I'm talking to my clients. I have a lot of clients that didn't necessarily step out sexually, that stepped out in other ways. And I say this, listen, if you give any emotional part of yourself to someone else, any time that you should be given to your partner to someone else, if you share things about your partner with someone else, if the person you're talking to knows more about your spouse than your spouse knows more about them, that's infidelity. So that's some form of infidelity. That's a betrayal. So sex doesn't even have to be anywhere in the picture. And I hear this a lot, actually, too. Most people that get into affairs have an unhealthy marriage or an unhappy marriage. And you can really read a lot of studies, surveys, what have you. Ask any person who committed adultery or affairs, and if they wanted to leave their marriage, because they're unhappy, or leave their marriage for the affair partner. And an overwhelmingly majority of them said absolutely not. I love my spouse. I love my partner. I love my significant other. I love my husband. I love my wife. I don't want to leave. I want to work things out. So that's not true. So there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot more myths out there, but just follow your heart. Know that this is a tough journey. It is a tough road. It is a road with many bumps, curves, hills, and tunnels, and you're going to want to give up. You're going to want to give up more times than you can count, but stick with it, because there is a rainbow after the storm.